the country in 2003 on a tour as students. The visit saw the need to give assistance to both health facilities and schools in the country. The founder of the organization went down memory lane to catalog the developments made since the inception of the organization.
Over the years, we have run projects at Bakau Lower Basic School, renovating and refurbishing classroom blocks, building poultry for the school garden, a lot of projects which worth over $2,500,000. And Mandinaring Lower Basic School also, we have completed several projects there. The most recent one was the dining hall, which the school approached us for help.
To the hospital, the items have come at a time when they are needed most. The Chief Medical Director acknowledged that they will help in the improvement of healthcare delivery in the country.
This contribution to the health sector will help in improving the quality of health service being provided to the Gambian people. And personally, I am very happy and pleased for this great donation because it's help and support my honest aspiration for this hospital development.
The organization comprising these young volunteers seeks to improve the education and health sectors in the country.
Although they are young, between the ages of 16 to 15, but these people are the best volunteers so far. Why do I say that? Because of the projects that they have embarked on. They do massive fundraisings, and when they come with all their funds, change their money, go to the shops themselves, buy the materials that the Gambians need, that our public schools need, and that which the hospitals need, to bring those materials for the Gambians.
The donors, Lauren Wade and Alex Rolls, speaking on behalf of the organization, explained that the items were secured through the support of the whole group out of their love for humanity. The philanthropies are hoping to continue their support to the people of the Gambia. The items were later presented to the British Ambassador David Molly to the hospital. The chairman, board of directors of the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, after receiving the equipment, expressed their satisfaction and hailed the donors for their intervention.
This is a great day for the hospital. I have always said to my colleagues in the board and to everybody else, and we want this word to go out, that the health is the business of everybody. So I thank you all for these wonderful items, which will go a long way to complement the efforts of the government to ensure that we have what it takes to run a hospital like this.
Medical equipment are very crucial to the service being delivered by health facilities. Given their indispensable nature, this donation will only augur well for the healthcare needs of the people of this country. Rohibise, Grts News.
We'll be back with news from outside the Gambia after this break. Welcome back. Reports coming out of the South Sudanese capital of Juba say at least 66 people have been killed following violent clashes between rival groups loyal to current President Salva Kiir and his former Vice President Riek Machar. President Kiir accused his former Vice President of attempting a coup d'etat. Juba has been under a complete lockdown as rival soldiers slug it out in the streets, and a curfew has been instituted. We have details in this report.
At least 66 soldiers were killed in violent clashes over the past 2 days in the South Sudanese capital, Juba. A curfew was decreed as fierce battles raged between troops loyal to the president and rival soldiers. This latest fighting is linked to the political crisis between rival factions within the ruling party. Former Vice President Riek Machar was forced out along with all of the government ministers last July. Wearing a military uniform, President Salva Kiir accused Machar of trying to lead a coup d'etat.
At the SPLA General Headquarters near Juba University by a group of soldiers allied to the former Vice President Dr. Riek Machar Singh and his group.
The gunfire resumed in the early hours of Tuesday as terrified residents attempted to flee the city and go to United Nations camps. Many wounded poured into health centers that could not handle the influx.
Many people started running away to get away from the fighting. Some were killed. A woman who was carrying a baby on her back was hit.
Bashar leads a dissident group within the ruling party and has been seen as the main challenger to Kiir. The rivals hail from different ethnic groups and fought on different sides during Sudan's civil war. Some people are accusing Kiir of acting like a dictator.
And in West Africa and Guinea-Conakry, to be specific, authorities in the city of Kankan have suspended 3 gendarme officers after riot police clashed with residents of the city. The latest wave of violence erupted after a young footballer allegedly died in police custody. At least 2 rioters and a member of the gendarme died in the clashes. We have details in the CFI report.
The young people were angry. There were clashes with the police. 700 kilometers from Conakry, the Guinean city of Kankan has been the scene of violence. Young people took to the streets when a local football player was found dead after spending the night in a police station. We came here to defend the youth of Kankan. They should punish the police and send them far away from us. The calls for calm by the General and Chief of Staff in Guinea were ignored. Then school children joined the demonstrators. Public buildings were invaded, some looted. The governor of the region called for an investigation to see if the death of the football player was the fault of the police. We are managing this crisis. We hope to bring people back to a calm state. We are as shocked as the young people. We don't like to see this, somebody dying because of regrettable acts. A gendarme and 2 demonstrators were killed in the clashes and 10 people were injured. To calm people down, the government suspended the 3 commanders of the gendarmerie of the city.
And to another developing story, and in Congo-Brazzaville, an attempt to arrest one of the country's leading generals has sparked off a deadly firefight in the capital. Reports say at least 20 people have been killed and 100 more were badly injured. Desperate civilians are fleeing the capital amid fear of an all-out crisis in Brazzaville. CFI has more.
Returned to the Republic of Congo's capital Brazzaville on Tuesday, 24 hours after a gun battle erupted in the city. The shootout sparked panic among residents. And on Monday, people were seen fleeing the downtown area where the violence occurred.
They're only killing and killing. They're shooting. It's hell. I wanted to advance to the city center, but everything was blocked off. There was a lot of gunfire. I had to get away. I was afraid the soldiers would think I was with the other side. It's tough for the country. We want peace.
The gunfire began when soldiers came to arrest Colonel Marcel Suru, and around 100 of his supporters clashed with the Congolese army. The firefight lasted an hour and 22 people were killed. The Congolese authorities blame Colonel Marcel Suru for Monday's violence. Suru is a former top government security advisor who was sentenced to 5 years forced labor 3 months ago. He was charged over a deadly accidental blast that had occurred at a munitions depot in the Mbila neighborhood on March 4, 2012. Suru has been in bitter disagreement with President Sassou Nguesso since September, and he vigorously opposes the police searching of his home. The search warrant was issued by the Army High Command, which accuses his supporters of having attacked patrolling security forces on Sunday night.
We now take a second break.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas from Grts. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas from Grts.
We now join our colleagues at the Weather Center for the day's weather outlook.